What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining the Glad's Horror Channel, the best horror channel here on YouTube. So, Rob Zombie is one of the most polarizing directors. You either love him or you don't. But either way, you definitely feel some type of way about him. He started out being a musician, and then a lot of people were excited with his transition into movies. So what I wanted to do today was rank the Rob Zombie films. I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what you guys think. Let's get right into it. So I just want to start off by saying I personally like Rob Zombie, okay? There are things that I think he's done that I absolutely hate, and there are things that he's done that I absolutely love. But overall, I respect and appreciate the contributions that he's made to the horror genre. For the purposes of this video, the horror of El Superbeasto and the Lords of Salem will not be part of this ranking. Why? Because I haven't seen them. I just completely missed the Superbeasto movie, and Lords of Salem never looked interesting to me. From the moment I saw the trailer, it did not look like something that I wanted to see, so I skipped both of these. So this ranking will not include those. Anyway, let's get right into it. Coming in at number 6, Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is atrocious. It's horrible. I hate it. I can't stand it. Now, I know that's going to make some people upset, because one of the things about Rob Zombie is if you liked him as a musician, you just love what he's done. Now, even I've talked to some people that are huge fans of his music, and this is either not their cup of tea at all, or they appreciate his artistic work that he did on this. Now, one of the things about Rob Zombie, he is very artsy, and I appreciate that, and he's really strong with his visuals. Sometimes he gets lost in the story by trying to keep these strong visuals. Why I hated this movie so much is because it's Halloween. I'm a huge fan of Michael Myers. I'm a huge fan of Halloween, and what I feel he did to the character and to the story, I can't forgive it. So this movie is absolutely the worst one of his bunch. Coming in at number 5, Halloween 1. Now, I really liked Halloween, the first Rob Zombie's Halloween. Everything they did, well, I don't say everything. A lot of what they did is with Michael Myers as a child. Okay, one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to dealing with Michael Myers, I do not like what he did with the dialogue wrapped around Michael Myers and wrapped around his family. That dialogue is, to me, one of the things I love about Halloween is its subtlety. I love the subtlety of Halloween. A lot happens, but it happens in a much more subtle way than the in-your-face style that Rob Zombie did with his movie. Having said that, I still liked what the scene in the woods was one of my favorite kill scenes in a horror movie. I really like what they did with that. Everything after Michael Myers grew up, I was not a fan of. So the movie I wouldn't say the movie's worse than the next entrance, but because it involved taking a mainstay, a well-known character like Michael Myers in the Halloween movie, and transforming it into something that had no recognition to the original whatsoever, I cannot forgive that. And for that, it's my number 5, his second worst one. Coming in at number 4, House of a Thousand Corpses. So this is Rob Zombie's first horror movie coming from music, and I remember being really excited when I first saw the trailer. For me, when I actually saw the movie, it seemed like a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But having said that, when you look at the entire trilogy, at the end of the trilogy, he did an amazing job with the Firefly family. The characters, the slasher villains that he introduced, ended up being fan favorites, ended up being amazing. I really liked them as a slasher group. But the introduction of them, this movie, was kind of lackluster. Again, I already spoke about his dialogue. I'm not a huge fan of the dialogue that he used, and to me, it just seemed like a watered down, kind of like a reimagining of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but a worse version of it. So For me, that's my number 4. Now that brings me to my top 3. Now, the top 3, as much as I had to say about the 6 through 4 for Rob Zombie, the top 3 are all great. I really, really like them all in their own way. Okay? But for the purposes of this video, I have to rank them. So coming in at number 3, I'm going to go with 3 from Hell. Okay? 3 from Hell was really good. What I liked about it is the arc and the story of the Firefly family came full circle. And that's what I meant previously when I talked about the trilogy. They introduced the family. They had their standalone focus movie in the second one. And then this one turned them into anti-heroes that you wanted to root for. And for good reason. There was more depth to the characters that showed up in this one. R.I.P. to Sid Haig. This was his last movie, and they did him justice. They did him very well in this, and the entire movie was a thrill ride. It was it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love 3 from Hell. Now, surprisingly, a lot of people haven't seen this one. If you stopped at Devil's Rejects, you owe it to yourself to give 3 from Hell a chance, because it's really, really good. Brings me to my number 2. Number 2, 31. Now, I've heard so many people say different things about 31. Here's where Rob Zombie shines. Rob Zombie shines when he makes his own characters. Okay? When he's trying to recreate other already known established characters, I don't like the way he does that. When he makes his own characters and creates his own story, he is amazing. And Doomhead, unfortunately, I would love to see another 31. Hopefully we see it down the line. But Doomhead was set up to be the next big slasher villain. And I think he was on the right track. One of the things about these slasher characters that we love, their first movie, there's not a lot of them in it. They don't show them a lot. And what I liked what they did with him in this one is he really wasn't in a lot of the movie. And then as soon as he came in, you already knew stuff was gonna go crazy. And he took the movie over. Without him, the movie was still good, but it would have been subpar, I would say. Subpar at best, without Doomhead being in it. So Rob Zombie creating this character created somebody that could stand alongside any slasher villain. So that's my number 2. Now, number 1, The Devil's Rejects. The Devil's Rejects is one of the best horror movies I've ever watched. And I mean that from my entire time of watching horror movies. I love slashers, and the peak of the Firefly family's their story was Devil's Rejects. I would put this movie alongside the original Halloween, alongside Texas Chainsaw Massacre, alongside Candyman, alongside any of the big, well-known slasher movies. This movie was that good. And why? Because whereas they introduced the family in the original, this had them be their terrifying best. They were funny. Otis was hilarious at times, but also sinister. So he kind of walked that fine line of a Freddy Krueger type character, where he thought what he was saying was funny, but nobody else really did, because he was doing heinous things. And I absolutely loved that. He is my favorite of the group, but I cannot say enough good things about this movie. And because of that, Rob Zombie deserves a relatively high place, because you don't have to like his whole body of work. There are a number of horror directors that their entire body of work is not that strong, but they made this one just phenomenal movie. And that's what Zombie did with Devil's Rejects. I can watch it over and over and over again and not get tired. It had his usual dialogue, but to me it seemed more in line with the story you were trying to tell. So it was absolutely perfect. There's very few perfect horror movies. This one was a perfect horror movie. I absolutely love Those Rejects, and that's my number 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. If you're new here, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I do all things horror. I do top 10 lists. I do a history of horror series that I'm doing continually. I do trailer reactions. I do movie reviews, all things horror. And I've got some big things coming in October, guys. So I look forward to seeing you. I'll see you guys next time.